Alright, hey guys, it's Cbag0 doing another RD2L group stage cast. It's Orb Walkers versus Magnus OP, and I actually have a co-caster today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Hey everyone, I'm Neutral Male Hotel, or NMH. I play for the team Hang and Bang here in the RD2L. Nice to be here.
Yeah, nice to be able to co-cast with you. So this is game 2. I know you cast a game 1, I watched about half of it. You did a great job. Do you want to give us a quick summary?
Sure. So, Orb Walkers had a team basically 4 protect 1 around a gyro, and had big team fight with Darkseer and a really nice pickup or selection for Kunkka playing the mid lane, and they were actually barely out defeated or out team fought, I guess, in the mid to late game from Magnus Opus, who had a carry skeleton king, which was awesome to see. It's really cool to see that here. I wish he was picked up more often, so I had a blast watching that game.
Yep, what I did watch, I was able to watch the last about 20 minutes of it. It ended up going quite the distance, about an hour, maybe a little bit more than that.
Yeah, almost exactly 60 minutes.
Wow, okay, so exactly 60 minutes, and he just didn't die. I mean, he had Aegis, and at one point the fight went long enough where his ulti got off cooldown, and he basically had 4 lives, and he still didn't die, you know?
Yeah, it makes me kind of wonder if the hero is kind of underutilized in the pro scene, because you see such dynamic contentions for Roshan in pro games, but it's not because of the gold, or not for the gold so much, and not for the experience so much. It's just to have that Aegis, and he has a free Aegis every minute. It kind of makes me think that he is maybe a pick that could be more popular in the future.
It's possible, yeah. It's entirely possible. I guess one issue is, you know, he has a really low mana pool. It's quite easy to counter. You spam like one ulti. I mean, no, one stun. Early levels at level 6, and then you have no more mana for your resurrection, and that could be costly.
Yeah, very much so.
So I'll go ahead and jump into
maybe transition to this game.
Yeah, yeah. just right as I was gonna say it. So Orb Walkers, they're gonna go pick up the Darkseer and Shadow Demon. They pick up the Darkseer again. They had him game 1. They actually grabbed Shadow Demon this time. Both are very safe picks. What do you think about Magnus Opus?
Weaver, I think, is pretty much one of the strongest heroes in terms of what people think about him following TI3. He is, I think, so strong because he can be laned in the safe lane solo, in the safe lane as a tri lane, in the mid lane, and in the off lane, either as part of an aggressive or soloing that lane. So that versatility just makes him such an important pickup. Rubik, I think, is nice to kind of block a natural counter to Weaver, just because Shikuchi on Rubik is so nice, and you don't want to give that up to the other team.
Yeah, something to also keep a thought about is Rubik. He's great against stealing teamfight ultis, and whenever you have a Darkseer on the opposing team, you probably are aware that they're going to go for teamfight, and you can steal those teamfight spells. So Magnus Opus for your third pick. They go with the Queen of Pain. I'm always a little bit worried when teams decide to go mid this early. It leaves them a lot of room to go counter him. But I guess it's hard to counter her right now. TA won't be too bad here. What do you think Orb Walkers should do?
I agree that they should, or in the general sense, to wait a little bit on the mids. TA, you mentioned, is definitely a very strong counter to Quap. It kind of sounds counterintuitive because you think like, oh, Shadow Strike is going to eat through charges of her refraction, but if you've played TA enough, it's fairly easy to cast Meld and disjoint the Shadow Strike, so it actually doesn't do anything to you.
Yeah, I completely agree.
If they don't pick up, if they don't pick up TA right here, it's probably going to get banned in this last stage.
And that's highly possible.
Instead, they go with the Lina, which is kind of the follow-up stun for Shadow Demon. So I'd expect to see some super hard carry with maybe another stun, disable, or slow to kind of go along with this really lethal tri-lane. Yeah, Alchemist, definitely. Life Stealer, another one. Luna, there it is.
So they want that team fight. She needs to be a bit careful because Rubik can steal her ulti. What was it? I can't. Eclipse. That's what it is. But you know, Magnus Opus, they go with an interesting pick. It's a Tidehunter. So with the Tidehunter, probably going to run a safe lane, tri lane. They could go aggressive, but they just don't have killing power in this sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only reason they would go outside of the box and kind of ditch that safe lane, tri lane would be if they want to either meet or avoid the tri lane from orb walkers. It's kind of scary. The Shadow Demon, the Lina, and the Luna can definitely kill a Weaver at level 1, at level 2, at level 3 for a long time. So if they want to try to dodge that and maybe put the Rubik, the Tide, and whatever their carry is offensively, but I don't think that makes a ton of sense. They'll probably just play standard.
Yeah, I think, well, the thing about Tide is he's very, very level dependent. I mean, Rubik to a certain extent is as well. Both of them heavily rely on their level 6. Tide more so than Rubik. But once they have their level 6, they can probably look to go fight. Until then, they'll have to make sure they don't feed too much.
Yeah, I agree completely. So it's going to be, if they're playing standard in the safe lane, tri lane, they're going to have to be very, very vigilant about making sure that pole camp isn't warded, and that they're always able to stack and pull with tides, that he is able to get at least, you know, a nice progression in his levels and farm a little bit.
Yep. For Magnus OP, they have a couple options here. I mean, they can have the Weaver in a tri lane, or they can have him in a solo. So Magnus Opus, what are the options here? What are you thinking?
They have a million options, so they can play standard, like I said, and do Quap mid, and then Rubik, Tidehunter supporting bottom, and then Weaver offlane. They could mix it up, and they could put Weaver mid and Quap solo hard lane. They could put Tidehunter mid. Probably not anymore with the Lifestealer pick. So it's probably just going to be standard.
Yeah, probably. And that's not a standard pick.
From Walkers here with the super strong, super underused. He is kind of the epitome of the glass cannon. So it's going to be really, really tough for him once Tidehunter gets his level 6 to try to survive long enough team fights to keep getting off his, I don't even know what that spell is called. I haven't played him a ton. Arcane Bolt, I guess.
Yeah, Arcane Bolt, or Mystic Flare as well. So I'll go ahead and introduce the players. On Mag OP, the captain, Queen of Pain, it's Have No Fear. On the Nyx, it's going to be the stand-in Shazamaz. I give up on the name. On the Weaver, it's going to be Offlane's Brew Witch. And Tidehunter, it's Mustache. And finally on the Rubik, it's Remorse.
And on the Dire, from Orbwalkers, we have Cottage playing the Skywrath. We have Scaff, am I reading that right? Playing the off-lane Darkseer. We have Luna played by Faya. Have No Pity, the captain on the Shadow Demon, and Duxie90 is going to be playing the Lina.
Alright, last game, they put on a show. This game, I'm also looking forward to this one. But we'll see how it goes. It looks like they're going to also go for that. They're not going to go for the aggressive. I'm kind of surprised, but it's not too bad. But, you know, something we got to be aware about is Orbwalkers. They have a mid-game team. I mean, Luna doesn't do too badly super late game because she does have the Moonglaive and she does have a Satanic. To a certain extent, it's like a poor man's flat cannon from a gyro.
Yes. Yeah, it's a very good way of thinking about it. Mag LP has a dual core, so it's going to be kind of with the Tide. They're just going to try to not lose too badly in the mid game and try to just drag out whatever they can into the late game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And so I'm still, well, I guess if the Dire did run an aggressive tri-lane, that would mean Darkseer would face up against Weaver. And time again, I still think, I mean, Darkseer should, I thought for a bit that Darkseer should break even. Though after seeing so many of these matchups, Weaver seems to be stomping Darkseer. So, in the end, I think the choice to not run the aggressive tri-lane is the correct one. Weaver trying to get that body block on the camp. She does throw down a ward. Probably knows that if they had checked her inventory that there is a Sentry ward missing. Still, they won't really get that stack. It will slow down the supports levels, and Weaver should get a lot of levels in this case. Still, I was about to say still once again. Who do you think who gets the best of the early game?
I would generally say that the lane with Shadow Demon and a stun is going to win. Getting that ward off is actually super important. They're not going to realize it for a while because his movements over that camp was pretty smooth, and then they had we're in the vicinity to have it blocked at the minute mark anyway, so they're not going to really realize that it's blocked by a ward until this minute mark, which means it's not going to be stacked until the next point. So it's going to be really hard for these supports to get levels on orb walkers.
Yeah, you're right, and I mean Weaver, they're actually doing a decent job zoning them out. Still, the creep wave will now push towards tower, and Weaver will get some last hits and EXP for sure.
Yeah, it's really the one thing you cannot do. Like any sort of harassing or whatever they were doing up by that pole camp, you can't let that happen. You're just getting distracted from your one and only job, which is to prevent levels from this Weaver. Once he gets up level 2, level 3, level 4, it's just too much of a bitch to kill him.
Yeah, Darkseer, meanwhile, I mean, he's not having a good time. He has 1 CS, but he can't approach lane. I mean, this Rubik is making it his job to make sure that Darkseer gets nothing. Is this the time for Darkseer to just go jungle now?
It's a little bit of a nuisance to the Lifestealer, and in that sense he's being somewhat productive, but I mean if you compare his experience to Weaver's, who's a full level ahead of him, it kind of makes it seem like they're going to be just losing even more as this game continues to go forward. If this is me, I would just tell Darkseer to go to the jungle. It's not worth it at this point.
Yeah, the Tidehunter has been doing an excellent job pulling and stacking, and has he been using the pull through? I'm not actually sure about that. The tree has not been cut, so he hasn't even been doing the pull throughs.
Yeah, you can see some remnants of a prior camp, so I guess he had a big stack that killed everything and then singles pulled. I'm not quite sure.
And so we're looking at, it's going to be a Cop versus Skywrath. It's something we haven't talked about this lane. Who has the advantage? Top. Oh, actually, just missed that.
Wow.
Nice call. And so they do get the gank.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice. Yeah, it's a nice little. Normally when you're ganking a Weaver, it's really hard. Oop.
Oh, it was close.
It's really hard to. Yeah. It's really hard to get your timings off with like getting your stun and putting on the ward. So as a Shadow Demon, it's nice to just have that moment to have a little breath to get the disruption off, put down your ward, get a little bit of better position, get a couple more right clicks off, and that's exactly what happened to get that first split on Weaver.
Yeah, for sure. So, Skywrath now probably going to the Bottle Crow. He missed a 4-minute rune, I believe. Did actually the Queen get a double rune? I think she got a double rune. She got illusion, and then she got an Invis rune.
Yeah.
This might have won her the lane. She could look. I mean, she's soon to get her level 6. Skywrath is actually closer, so she needs to be a bit careful about that.
Yeah, she's definitely doing a better job of winning this mid-game. The more runes, and she's up 15-5 to Skywrath's 11-2 on the last hits.
Oh man, Darkseer is still level 1. This is... he needs to leave. At this point, it's completely not worth it. Maybe the first 2 levels, but... the first 2 or 3 minutes, but now it's 5 minutes in. Level 1, that's pretty unacceptable as an offlane hero. Did a good job. Oh, nice disruption. Is there going to be a follow-up? Yes. Oh, did they actually get it? Yes. There goes the Soul Catcher. They're going to be able to right click him down. Nice kill.
I think they missed the stun, but were able to just get a body trap on him instead. That was kind of that was kind of neat.
Yeah, I wasn't able to see that, but still, I mean, they caught him in the middle of Sakuchi, so it wasn't on cooldown. I mean, it was still on cooldown. So well played by the Dire side at this point. Orb Walkers.
And they're going to put a little bit of pressure on this tower. It won't be going down, I don't think. But if they don't glyph it and get out there, I guess it could fall pretty quickly.
Yeah. Luna's damage is decent, I mean, with that level 2 Lucid Beam. And they can push, especially with a couple of range drinks there. Well, the creep will get cleaned up now. They might make a go on this push. I would like to see Lena. Oh no, I would like to see her like just single stack it, pull, and have an extra big creep wave and secure that tower. But she actually stacked the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
So they very well might be doing that. That first siege creep comes out at 7 minutes. So if they're thinking ahead, they're definitely gonna. They just did the single, or I guess the double stack. They missed the pull on it though, unfortunately. So they might mess up their timings on getting that.
Queen of Pain walks past a sentry, but she's still gonna get a kill on Alina. Maybe no, they're just waiting for it. Oh, there's a smoke. Now they know for sure she's there.
Smoke on top.
Sentry. They're gonna disrupt her. Are they gonna get this perfectly? Oh, there's even the soul catcher. It's enough damage. Oh, that's so unfortunate for them. In any other case, that would have been easy kills. Oh.
Yeah. So Queen probably should have recognized that. You know, they popped a smoke and are gonna know that somebody is there that's invisible. So probably should have just tried to blink away instead of making something happen. Yeah,
probably, especially with the Weaver. And she knew that Weaver's been dying a lot, or at least Weaver should have been telling her that they have sentries. So
now they have the Queen of Pain dead and running around. They're gonna send Tide mid, which is gonna be nice to get him at least level 5. It looks like. It's kind of really important as you send your mid out ganking to be rotating supports through to get some easy farm, some easy XP.
Yeah, you're right. I like the rotation at the point because you don't want to waste the XP, and Tide wants his level 6. Once you have that level 6, you can look for fights. Though with this lineup, should you look for fights?
I am kind of the opinion that once you have Tide, you should just be looking for fights. Not only because it's just you're probably have a good chance of winning the fight, just because it's just more fun to be in a team fight and have Tide pop his ult.
The tower does fall top lane. Luna doing what carry should do, last hitting the tower. It'll be a nice bit of gold. Wow, 2,500 just straight up and buys the Yasha. Looking to finish up Mantis down.
No signal from Lifestealer on the other side what he's going to be purchasing. He did buy his phase boots, while Luna has Tranquils, but no really indication of what he's going to do. It might be an armlet. It's probably a little late to be getting a Midas with this much free farm. He probably could have just done that instead of the phase boots, so I'm not quite sure what the decision from Shaz is going to be here on the Lifestealer.
Yeah, there's always a chance you can go for that YYF race car build, drums, phase into like Sanjin Yasha. That's a lot of movements, basically almost perma-hasted.
Yeah, that was kind of when Lifestealer pre-nerf was kind of first ban, first pick every single game. That was kind of the standard build for a lot of people, basically, no matter where or how he's played. I think it's kind of boring. It's really good. I just I like to see armlet toggles. I like to see bashes. I like to see old school Johnny Utah getting an Orchid or getting a Blink.
It's going to change this all perfectly. Queen of Pop
522.
Queen of Pain nearly gets. She does pop the ulti. Weaver does die, and she does get the Luna. So a great trade-off in that, in my opinion. Darkseer rotates in. He needs to be careful. Nope, Queen of Pain's fine. She will have her blink up. Oh, she finds a haste too.
I think a big difference. She's been so lucky and nice with those runes. So in the previous game, the Queen of Pain for Orb Walkers did a Shadow Strike to level 3 and had the blink really under level, which definitely hurt her in some ganks and getting ganked where she wasn't able to blink away. I think this is by far a better build, especially against the ranged hero like the Skywrath, only taking 1 point Shadow Strike and then getting your blink up quickly after finishing Scream.
Yeah, this is the problem with Skywrath. I mean, yes, he can gank to a certain extent, but Queen of Pain with her blink is just a much better ganker. So, there's actually a rotation from the dire supports. They're looking to get a pickoff on the Queen of Pain. Whether or not they can, I'm not too sure. Lina, oh, it's a hasted Quap. Quap was actually thinking about diving this one. So that would have been an absolutely terrible idea because she has no mana and Skywrath has like full mana. Skywrath I still think can solo kill her, but he's kind of just stayed in lane and farm. It's hard to really kill a life sealer, to be honest. Maybe Rubik. They're actually gonna push the tower. They don't have any damage though.
Yeah, and Life Sealer did pick up his drones, which are getting flown out to him.
Oh, there's a title too, but there's not going to be any follow-up disruptions there. They're not going to be able to stop. Oh, yeah, they have damage to kill him now. He throws a one last gush. But that was a wasted ulti. Big time. There was no follow-up whatsoever. It was mostly defensive to make sure the Queen of Pain stays alive.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate, just because the cooldown is so long at level 1. I guess at all 3 levels, but it just feels really long at level 1.
Yeah, and it's even more important because it's that surprise factor that he's level 6. Yeah, maybe you may be able to scout it out, but you know the first ulti is always like the important one.
Yeah, of course. Plus, since
bot lane, Life Sealer. Oh, that was a great disruptor. Sorry to cut you off. Lina does die still.
No.
It was an attempt. It was a nice attempt. Life Sealer gonna run away. Oh, no. Oh, nice lift up. But Rubik has no more mana. He can steal something. Queen of Pain is there, and she actually blows up the Darkseer as well. Now they're all running away. Life Sealer is chasing. Oh, they get the kill. Oh, wow, that's a tri-lane kill. That's 3 dead Orc Walkers, and what looked like was pretty good. I ended up doing. Oh, you don't want in. Nina's back, but she doesn't have her level 6, so a bit unfortunate for her.
What a beautiful Quap ulti that was.
It really was.
So rare to see. Yeah, it's so hard to land on more than 2 people, but just had the timing lined up perfectly to get all 3, and really turned what could have been a chase and maybe a death or 2 for Mag OP into a triple kill and getting them right back to just about even with the Warwalkers at this point.
Well, actually the experience graph is telling us that it's like almost a 5k EXP difference for Mag OP and about a 1.5 for gold. So not as big in gold, but the EXP might really kick in. This might be should Warwalkers 5-man?
I think we both said at the beginning that they probably would win 5-man fights, but it might not be in their best interest to be doing so. I think that I would just not run from any sort of aggression from Orb Walkers, because I think they do have the better team fight at this moment.
Tide has his
Ravage. The farm is about equal, so...
Mid lane, he's going to pop his Ravage, he's going to hit at least 3, yes, it does, they're going to blow up the Shadow Demon, and Skywrath, yes, what a glass cannon, he just dies, Darkseid gets lifted up, I think he's also dead, Surges, but still not enough, they're going to get this tier 1 tower for free, they get 3 kills and a tier 1, call it a huge win for Mag OP, and now they're just going to steamroll everybody. Orbwalkers, what can you do now?
They're in a lot of trouble right now. It was a really, really nice move of Tide to smoke out
Lina
down here.
Lina, what you doing? She was a bit too close. Rubik, did he actually
nice move earlier by Tide to go, what was that?
I'm sorry about that. What were you saying?
Oh, that's alright. I was going to say that Tide did a really, really nice move by smoking and kind of wrapping around the tier 1 tower. Before you have your Blink Dagger as Tide, you kind of have to be sneaky and tricky and getting into positions where you can get your ult off on more than 2 people, and he was definitely able to do that in that last fight.
Luna trying to get the kill on a Weaver, but it's a Weaver, you're not going to kill him. He might still get a Lucid Boot. Nope.
Yeah, they don't have a great chasing team.
Yeah, they really don't.
They're hard to chase. Yeah, they want to get somebody with disruption and then get everybody else like moved up into position to get off their follow-ups, but they're not going to be able to out-chase a Weaver or a Life Stealer or a Quap. It's just too hard.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be engagement mid. Luna taking a bit of harass. She's just also harassing the tier 1 tower. Oh, looks like the Radiant are going to make a move. But the Dire, are they going to be able to retreat enough? No. Luna does die. There's an Eclipse. I think Luna's going to die as well. Disruption. Was that a defensive? No, it was offensive disruption, but it ended up saving the opponent side. Oh no, that was a huge mistake. In a 5v5 team fight, you need to almost always save your disruption, and this goes for OD as well. Save it for defensive purposes, unless you're chasing someone, then you use it for offensive purposes.
Yeah, I agree. You have to be. You kind of have to set up beforehand like how you're going to be doing things. It's kind of the same with the Rubik's time. Like if you have poor communication, you're gonna just mess it up all the time. So you either have to save it always for the defensive, or you kind of have to be like really on your ball with talking with your other teammates about, oh, I'm gonna offensive, oh, I'm gonna defensive. Otherwise, you're just gonna mess up the team fights too badly.
Yeah, I'm not even sure who we defensively disrupted to save.
I couldn't see either. It might have been Lifestealer, but I couldn't see for sure.
Yeah, it's possible. Even if it was Lifestealer, I don't think it would have died anyways. Well, what's the gold graph look like right now? It's not pretty at all. It's 4,000 in favor of Mag OP, and 7,500 in favor EXP wise in favor of Mag OP. I have to ask you this question again. How do orb walkers get back in?
They're gonna have to start picking off the cores.
Oh, this is a good start. They killed the
There we go. That's a great start.
Tidehunter does have.
They do have some nice long range engagement.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that's nice. Hopefully they can get this tier 1 pushed down while the tide is down for 20 more seconds. So I think they just need to get some pickoffs, hopefully on one of the 3 cores, the Quap, the Lifestealer, or the Weaver, and then just kind of play safe. Try to get a mech up. I mean, Skywrath might have to get a mech just because nobody else is going to be getting that close at all. So it kind of sucks when your mid has to kind of backpedal and get such a defensive item, but they're gonna lose every single mid game fight without a mech relatively quickly.
Yeah, I completely agree. But he I don't know. Is this gonna be a Dagon, Null Talisman, Staff of Wizardry? What are you thinking?
Probably a Force Staff, I would imagine. That would be cool to see.
It would be so fun.
Yeah, it could be not bad.
Nice.
They might be first damage on.
Defensive disruption? No, it was a Rubik disruption. Maybe it wasn't a defensive disruption. That was the Weaver is actually going to. No, it was. Oh, Tide Ravage. Is there a catches 4 heroes? This looks. Oh man, they blow up 3 heroes. And they're going to catch a 4th one. Lena throws ulti. Well, she does get the Queen of Pain. So turning a situation that had no way of winning into a very, very, very tiny win. At least Lena gets the kill on the Queen of Pain. Yeah,
it's at least some little bit of redemption from, kind of a sloppy play from Quap, knowing that there was a Lena ult still out there. But still, it's not getting that kill on Weaver is just so demoralizing. They spend so much time, so many spells to try to get that.
Oh, Luna,
then they
what
get
you
3 kills, and
doing?
it might not even be their. Gonna lose their carry as well. I think they're a little bit on tilt here. They're probably just frustrated and trying to get things where they don't really have an opportunity to get them.
I mean, the problem with Orb Walker's lineup is they have a lot of single target spells. Look at them. I mean, of course they have the Arcane Bolt. Of course they have the Mystic Flare. Yeah, it's a smoke, but it's a Lifestealer. What you gonna do with them? Yeah, too fast.
Yep. And there's that boring build I was knocking earlier, and he's able to just run away from a 4-man smoke gank because of it. So I guess it's pretty good.
Yeah, 447 movement speed when he's using phase. That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, they don't have enough to really chase any of these heroes. So if they don't win a team fight decisively, super decisively, they're going to just let 1, 2, 3, or even 4 heroes from Mag OP kind of trail away from the team fight with low HP.
Yeah, I think for the Orb Walkers to get back in, they have to, smoke up find a couple ganks, and that'll help them back into the game. A couple ganks would give these supports in the mid some levels and a little bit of gold. And just look at this lineup. I mean, SD single target, Skyra single target, Lena single target, and they just don't have anything else outside of that.
Yeah, they're really lacking in team fight and not team fight, that's the wrong word, in disables and hard disables. They have the Lena as their only real stun, and it's hard to land. Looks like Ty's going to go down here.
Yes, he will go down. Nice gank so far. They've gotten
nice.
2 successful ganks, I believe. No, just 1. But that's a start, at least.
Yes. Yeah, it's something. It's team. It's gold and XP for everybody that's near there. So all those starve supports, it makes buying that ward or buying that smoke or buying that sentry a little bit less painful in your pocket.
Hasted Queen of Pain.
Keep doing
Hasted
things
Queen of Pain.
You like to do.
She might find the Skyra.
She's getting close to a sheep stick.
Oh man, if she gets that sheep stick, there's no way the Skyruff will have a good time. Nice lift, nice disruption, but they're going to be able to get the kill on a Rubik. Lena, are you going to throw your ulti? She could. Throw it. Yeah, there's the kill. She actually could have thrown it on the Weaver. That might have been a bigger kill. But Lena will go down here. Now the chase goes on. Darkseer gets bursted down, and Shadow Demon. See, and this is what I was talking about. The chasing power for the Radiant is too strong. I mean, the drums, phase boots, and you have a blinking Queen of Pain and a permanently hasted Weaver. No way you're going to get away from them.
I think Orbwalkers have made a
top lane.
I don't know if it's their team directing this.
Top lane. Luna goes down.
That's so unfortunate. I think they made a super big mistake. Their Darkseer didn't take wall, and so wall's so nice because the further you are behind, if you get a good wall, it kind of nullifies that because the heroes that are so much more stronger than you are actually then being turned against the other team. So when you're behind, it's really right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Yeah, so when you're behind, giving up wall to take an extra point in Surge or Ion Shell or Vacuum is just it's so greedy. When they're down there fighting in the Roche pit, in those choke points, that's such a good opportunity to get a wall down and try to force fights in those areas and fights that they shouldn't be winning with a nice wall. They can definitely have a better chance of winning than just an extra level of Ion Shell or something.
Yeah, I agree.
Scarlet's gonna go down to the. Scarlet might go down unless they. Oh no, he has bottle. He'll be fine.
He has bottle. He's just gonna bottle through it, but he still needs to go back. They might find. Oh, Tide Ravage whiffs at the Shiva Ravage, but the Lifestealer is here and picks up.
No.
But they can afford 1 or 2 Shiva's Ravage.
Yeah, of course. and it kind of, it's always never good to just throw ults away, but. They're going to throw away a title and are still going to win a team fight and take a tier 2 tower. That's kind of just showing how far ahead they are.
Oh, they're just going to.
Although Luna has their BKB, that's a huge pickup. They don't have anything that goes through BKB, so if she's able to get a good timing on it and not get caught.
Lifestealer! Oh, he gets bursted down, and this is what they needed. This is what they needed. There's a disruption. Soul Catcher.
Exactly.
They're not going to be able to get the kill. Lena didn't have her stun at the moment because she used it.
There's
a silence. They're going to be able to kill her. Oh man, this is the pickoffs that they need.
That's so big. Exactly. They found kills on their 2 cores. They didn't even have to blow the BKB on Luna, so she still has a 10-second one ready to go, which means in the next team fight against probably Tide when he has his Ravage up, it's going to be almost completely useless. So
he's going to get caught up as well.
Tower here and another kill.
They're just going to trickle in. They're just trickling in one at a time. What is this?
I guess it's the same way that a couple minutes ago Orbwalkers was feeling frustrated and kind of throwing away kills. I think it might have been some sort of overconfidence from Mag OP. And just not playing carefully or playing with careful forethought and just being a good Dota player. Just you easily throw away a couple kills and then the game kind of suddenly looks a lot different than it did 30 seconds ago. Although to be fair, it's still 10k and 10k for golden experience.
This is some EG level throws here. I mean, look at this. This was 22 minutes in and they had a 12k EXP league and they had 11k a gold difference lead and now they're just starting to throw it away. Still, I mean, Orbwalkers have a lot of work to do. So don't get too excited, though this could be the beginning of something.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you joke and say something like, "Oh, EG throws," but it's EG's job to play not perfectly, but play as close to perfectly as possible, and then take games that should be won and then win them. These are not EG players. These are not professional players. These are not even like amateur players. This is very, very upper echelons of casual play. So games that would probably you would look at and say like, oh, in a professional environment, like, oh, this is a one game for Magnus Opus, but it's really easy to throw away games, and it's not something to be embarrassed about. It's not something to be upset about. It's just a huge part of Dota. So no game is really ever out of the reach of the other team until the throne says 0 HP.
Oh, there's a race for the haste room. Quap gets it, and Shadow Demon is so dead. He's going to pay for trying to go for that. But actually, there's a Tide Ravage. It will hit too. They're going to at least kill the Shadow Demon. There's a vacuum wall, but it's only a level 1 wall. I don't know how much damage it's going to be able to do. Tide's still going to go down. For one support. They did. Oh, Queen of Pain will take a lot of damage. She still hasted Laguna Blade. Gets popped on a Weaver, but Weaver just time lapses that. She's going to chase down. Oh, they do get the Skywrath. Oh, they clean up.
Ooh.
The Tide. Oh, Eclipse is going to go out, and they're going to at least get maybe.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
They do get.
Yeah, she got the Weaver. Yeah, Weaver already used their time lapse in the team fight, so wasn't able to get out of that sticky situation with the Eclipse. I'm surprised that Rubik wasn't in the vicinity to steal that Eclipse. He recently picked up the Force Staff, so I know I saw him use it to kind of shoot himself down to the low ground. So like to avoid something. So I think he should have been able to run up and get close to that team fight. Like as a Rubik, you just want to always be on the fringes of things. You don't ever want to get initiated on and picked off, but you always want to be able to kind of slide in and steal important spells. That's why you see Blink Dagger. That's why you see Force Staff as such common items on a Rubik. That wouldn't be necessarily important for similar supports.
Yeah, keep this in mind that Lifestealer was not in that fight, and look how much gold he's got. 4,000. Straight Abyssal?
Yeah, he probably will. It's pretty common. Although with this race card,
he's gonna lift him on. Oh, you can't lift him on that clip anymore.
Just misses the. Yeah, there's weird angles now. It used to be anything, and now there's like specific channels that you have to like follow.
This one you can lift up
to throw people up on.
Yeah, this one you can lift up, and I've seen this happen before. The rest, I'm not too
I've
sure.
seen that one, yeah.
Maybe, I don't think this...
Yeah, they made it a lot more difficult.
Okay, definitely.
I don't know. I remember there was a Reddit post about like which clips are possible and which clips are possible from which angles, but I have not taken the time to memorize that.
Dark Zero anyway. Nice defensive ward by the Dire side here. So they now know that the Radiant are trying to invade Oho. They want to go aggressive on this, but the Dire doing the correct thing, retreating back to their tier 3. They have no idea where they are now. Well, they kind of do at least. They know that they're in the Dire jungle.
Yeah, they did a good job of, I guess those were already up. I was going to say doing a good job of getting some...
Oh, there's a Queen of Pain Lifestealer infested bomb, but Queen of Pain ulti gets popped. They might, Vacuum Wall, a really nice one. Dark Seer might die. Tide Ravage hits 3, but do they have enough damage? Oh no, that was a whiff on the Skywrath ulti. Weaver will get out just fine. And two supports lost for OWS, but yeah, Eclipse still up online. Queen of Pain, you really want to go in on this? No, she's going to back out. She hit 4 staff away by the Rubik. Rubik does have Lucent Beam, so that'd be pretty nice. Extra little bit of nuke for him. Oh,
yeah, we need to just try to clear those creep waves.
It's going to go down. Oh, Eclipse gets popped. That's a lot of damage. But the Lincolns, was there Weaver? Is he going to chase him? No, yeah, he does get the kill on the on the Skywrath. Or actually, it was Queen of Pain with the Poison Dagger and caught him. Or maybe just a simple right click. I wasn't watching.
I was watching the battle towards the tier 3 tower as well.
Yeah. Well, they did lose. Mago, he did lose a bit of their advantage, but they're gaining it slowly, and they're starving Orb Walkers at this moment.
Yeah, they weren't able to actually take anything from winning that fight, which is always kind of a letdown. You always want to try to take something away when you win a team fight, whether it's a tower, whether it's dewarding, whether it's Roshan, whether it's clearing ancient gaps. You just want to always try to be doing something with all that free time and free space you have. So I maybe they should try to prep Roshan. I mean, they have some.
Oh, they're going to get this disruption. No,
Roche.
I actually thought they were going to get the Life Stealer, but I guess they just have no idea where the rest of the Radiant team is.
And he does have his Abyssal up, so this might be. Oh, I thought he was going to go on Shadow Demon, but wisely thinks better of it.
He might be able to solo them. Well, no, probably not. That's getting a little bit ambitious. Still, this Life Stealer is really, really scary.
Yeah, so this might be. We talked earlier about like how powerful defensive disruption is in order to save your teammates in clashes, but this might be a point where you just have to say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna disrupt Lifesteal any chance I get, just to add some more DPS in the team fights."
And use the
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they don't have it outside of Luna. They don't have a ton of DPS. Skywrath is not super strong yet. He still needs a lot more farm to have really, really high intelligence to be doing big damage.
Look at Remorse on this Rubik. He's got Hood of Defiance. This is one rich support, and he gets the lift up on the Luna. Luna looks to be she BK's B up. Nice disruption. Now they will get the Soul Catcher off. Queen of Pain might die. Yes, she gets bursted down.
Great stun.
There's the Tidehunter. Ravage! Yeah, waiting for the BKB to go down, and they just chain center death. The Abyssal Blade was used. Vacuum. Yeah, he does get the vacuum, but not against. Oh, Weaver is a DD rune. Nice ulti from the Skywrath. They're not going to be able to kill the Lifestealer. Lifestealer nearly died. Skywrath does go down. Lina as well. It's a DD Weaver. There's nothing you can do. The chasing power is just insanely strong. Oh man, there goes the Shadow Demon. This is easy Rex. I wouldn't be surprised if they called it GG right now.
Yeah, it really might be. They didn't secure a kill on that Lifestealer who TP'd away with just a fraction of HP, and then you can see the Weaver, who has 0 damage items, is able to just walk through and kill all of these squishy heroes on Orb Walkers. So he's going to turn this gold he has into something with some punch, maybe start working towards a MKB or a Daedalus or something, and from that point, he's going to start 2 and 3 shotting these supports from
To be fair, she had a DD rune, so...
that's true. That is some damage, I guess you're right.
Oh my gosh, Tidehunter. He picks up a Hex Stick. Just says, screw Blink Dagger.
That's very cool to see.
Yeah, it said, screw Blink Dagger, I'm gonna go Hex Stick. Well, that's definitely interesting.
That's very funny.
Go ahead.
It's really interesting. I don't remember, but oh no, that was the other team. I was gonna say in the last game, the team that had Centaur played a really, really greedy lineup by not really having 2 supports. They only had 1. They let Centaur get a ton of farms. They could get him a Blink Dagger, and I was gonna say it kind of feels very, very similar to get tied a Sheep Stick at a very, very early timing for a support normally.
There's a disruption, and Soul Catcher. Queen of Pain is going to get bursted down. There's a nice Hex Stick from the Tide. They probably weren't expecting that. They're going to try to burst down the Shadow Demon. It's enough. Oh, they throw him up on a cliff. There's going to be an Eclipse as well, and another ulti from the Skywrath. Oh, they actually clean up 3. How in the world? What? Still, man, they get a Roshan too. I mean, that's like Christmas for these guys.
They have to. If they don't get a Roshan here, I mean, there's no other decision, I guess. So they're going to take a Roshan. That really, really evens things up. I mean, not actually, but it's gonna pull things closer to even. And you really can't underestimate the power of an Aegis, especially when you have a BKB to go along with it. And we saw this last game with the SK done really, really beautifully, where you have your Aegis and you have your BKB, and you save your BKB until after you spawn again with your Aegis. So all those spells have been blown on you, and then you resurrect with full mana, full HP, and a fresh BKB. It's really, really hard to deal with.
Yeah, and 20k was the EXP difference for Mag OP, and 16 about give or take 16k for Mag OP for gold. It has dipped a little bit thanks to that small team fight win, if you want to call it a small team fight. They're able to clean up 3. There's an invis on this Skyrock. He wants to get the kill, but I don't know if they're going to get it. Oh, he might now. Where's the Lucid Beam? Lucid Beam, yes. Goodbye, Rubik. He's going to try to force that this way, and then he's just going to die, yes. Oh no, actually going to turn around and try to get the Queen of Pain. I think that's the better kill. Oh no, Lucid Beam on the creep.
Oh no.
Disruption.
Oh no.
Remorse will go down. Queen of Pain pops her ulti, but the damage is actually a little bit of kittens. But the illusion, very nice for basically a free Manta style.
It's unfortunate we weren't able to get the Queen of Pain kill. I think it would have been close with that Lucent Beam that hit the creep instead of Guap, because the little mini stun is pretty nice because it delays the blink.
He's going to get a really nice round. Oh, nice disruption. Still, Skyroth will go down. Nice back and wall, but it's not enough. There's going to be an ulti. It hits for Weaver. Doesn't have to damage it. Nice hex stick. They will make a go. Lina is Ghost Scepter. How did she get a Ghost Scepter? I'm surprised. And somehow they're holding their own. This Orb Walkers that were down by 20k EXP hold their own. They only lose 1.
Yeah, that's a really, really brilliant hold by them. So it's a little bit awkward of Mag OP to be fighting in that position. Like, they don't really have anything to gain in the mid lane. So they should try to just be dodging any sort of fights that aren't going to be super, super advantageous. So they should have been making a fight happen closer to the top tower. Because you can see, like, they realize, oh, let's take a top tower, but by that time people are already resing and getting in position to defend it. So a little bit of a misplay there.
Yeah, so definitely that fight favors OWS, and they wasted Tide Ravage, and wow, look at that EXP graph. It's really dipping now. It's really dipping.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but the previous game had huge dips and surges in XP and gold graphs. Like, I think I declared the game over for both teams multiple times throughout the game, and was completely dead wrong. So let's see if we have another game that I'm completely wrong about.
Yeah, Mag OP was the team that did run the Centaur, that ran the like 3.5 roll Centaur.
Yeah.
And they were the one that had that lead. They definitely are making it exciting once again. It might be exactly what LGD does. Lose laning fate, or no, not like LGD. Scratch that. Scratch that comment.
Grouping up to smoke from Mag OP, it looks like, unless they're just grouping up for a team hug or something. They didn't even have a smoke. They were trying to. They probably pinged and said, "Let's go smoke," and then realized that they didn't even have a smoke. That happens a lot. It
really does.
Although Life's here now inside of co-op, yeah, because you want it to happen and then realize, like, oh, we don't have the foresight to think.
She gonna blink in on this? She really gonna blink in on this? The Shadow Demon plays have been really nice. I mean, have no pity. Doing a really good job finding disruption to save the team. Though, granted, he has messed up a couple defensive disruptions, but it's hard. You
I think he's been playing great.
Yeah, I mean, you got 10 targets to disrupt. It's very hard.
It's especially tough because, from hundreds, if not thousands of hours playing Dota, you get these, built-in reactions and tendencies, and you kind of have it in your head that disruption's a stun. So you kind of like react to things by casting on the enemy player instead of thinking through, like, oh, it might be better to cast the stun effectively on my own teammate.
Yeah, it is a little bit weird in that fact. I think using the Bane sleep is also very difficult.
Yes, exactly.
But yes, there's
smoking right on top of the wards.
Oh, there's a double sentries.
So if they're watching. Yeah,
they saw him, but man, they just get ravaged. Oh man, this might be GG. They do already clean up too. Darkseer wall wasn't even used. The Lina ulti nearly kills the Darkseer. I can't even tell that wasn't the Dax. But the Aegis gets popped. Luna will come back up. She already used the clips. But Lina trying to run away. She's going to try to right click. But Tidehunter is still alive. There's no point really going on him because he no longer has his big ulti. And somehow they're holding their own. Tidehunter does go down. Weaver does get her Lincoln's pop. She'll be able to run just fine. She should just take that. Yeah, she's going to take it. And she might try to chase. Skywrath has his force and he even uses the Atos. Maybe that won't be able to get the kill. It's slow. Weaver trying to run away from that. Lincoln's get popped. She's fine. So, a win for OWS maybe?
It was pretty close. Unfortunately, they had the Quap pushing bottom and lost a tier 3 tower in the tier 3 tower in the middle of that. So now they have another exposed Rax on top of the Rax already gone in the middle lane. So it's probably unless they're winning super decisively at this point, it's kind of every team fight is going to be a win for Mag OP.
Well, they at least hold. Without the Aegis, they definitely would have lost the fight.
Yeah, very true.
I'm going to take a drink of water because I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
Water's so good. But anyways, back to the game.
It really is.
Yeah, back to the game. 3 minutes to Roshan. Will that decide the fight? Will they even wait for the Roshan? Or the Dire? I mean, they already could look to smoke up again, or fake smoke up.
I think what's gonna happen is Warwalkers is gonna try to camp and then take a really fast Roshan, and I think the correct play from Mag OP would be to just force a decision at the other side of the map. So push top tower and then lean towards the tier 3. So you kind of you let them take the Roshan for free, but then say, oh, if you're gonna take a Roshan, we're just gonna take a Rax for free instead. So that's what I would imagine to happen, but I think both teams are going to play super conservative for the next, 3 minutes until the Roche.
Yeah, Queen of Pain actually opted to go for BKB, and she's probably tired of that Skywrath and Lina blowing her up.
Yeah, that's probably a good decision.
She does have her Hex Stick up, so double Hex Stick for Mag OP. It's still a wonder on how they're holding this game. Queen of Pain definitely had it for that last fight as well.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing the item and the level difference between the two teams that the Warwalkers are able to hang on to so many team fights.
So Queen of Pain vested by the Lifestealer. They're just gonna make another go. Tidehunter, of course, does have his Ravage. If I was Skywrath, it's possible that you could silence this Tidehunter and blow him up before anything happens. Still, he does have the Kraken Shell, so maybe not.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Like, you can cast a Silence, you can cast a Sheepstick or whatever on Tide, and then you try to burst him down, and then he just pops out with Kraken Shell and ults your whole team. So it's kind of lose-lose for Warwalkers right now. So let's see if they try to focus him or if they just ignore him.
That's a very premature pipe. It's a little bit late. I think they should have waited a bit more. Okay, they go with the initiation. Oh, there's Abyss on the Luna. Luna might die here. Nice vacuum wall. Tide Ravage does hit on 2 heroes. Luna will die. Lina as well. Darkseer as well to buy back from the Luna. It's not going to be enough. They're going to get their second set of racks here. And yeah, bam, 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 goes the tower. The Lifestealer's damage is not that impressive, 189 plus 160. Oh, there's a Sheepstick. I'm not sure who it's from. Probably the Tide. Yeah, it was from the Tide. Luna goes down, and that's a surprise. This looks to be GG. Luna dies for the second time, and that's right after her buyback. The wall goes down as well. 4 heroes dead on the side of Warwalkers, and Mag OP finishing things off after giving themselves a bit of scare.
Yeah, that was just a Abyssal Blade winning that team fight from the very, very beginning. You saw the Luna cast the BKB and immediately gets Abyssal Bladed. I mean, it's really what a 7,000 gold item is supposed to do. Just flat out win you team fights when you have it.
Yeah, you're completely correct. And this mid-game team, they fell behind in the mid-game, they fell behind in the early game, and it ended up paying off. They were unable to get those quick and easy kills with dismount like they did on the Weaver. That's what they needed to do early on, but it just didn't pay off. Hextech galore going out for this team. Darkseer, well, he's a bit tanky. Misplay by the Shadow, not Shadow, Skyra, silencing a creep. The Ancient was taking damage. Now it's just packing stats at this point. They might kill the Queen of Pain. Yeah, Queen of Pain does go down. Excellent kill for them.
I like this draft a lot from Orbwalkers. I don't know if they've played it before or what, but I always like to see unconventional picks and strategies, so I think they could definitely fine-tune and tweak the strategy a little bit. I'd like to see another reliable stun in this lineup. I love the Skywrath. I think the silence was nice for the Weaver. Maybe the Darkseer wasn't the best choice. Maybe a Clock would have been a good addition here. Maybe they could have found a better carry than Luna, who doesn't really have. I think Clock might have been a very nice fit for them, especially with the synergy between cards and then casting the Skywrath ultimate to just instantly blow up anybody.
Yeah, they nearly held their own too. Once they hit that 35-minute mark, it made it look like they might have a small shot at coming back. But now the Ancient's taking a beating. And yeah, look at that. Ooh, man. Darkseer, well, he's gonna survive. He actually has the mech up. He's tanky. He has that Hood of Defiance. There's the Abyssal Blade. They will kill the chicken Luna. And there we go. BKB gets popped a bit late. She probably was thinking about popping the Eclipse. Queen of Pain will finish. Tide Ravage only hits. Hits two. I was about to only say hits one. But they hit two. They clean them up, and there's that Ancient. So GG.
Great win. Great win for Mag OP. I know in this RD2L it's really, really hard to 2-0 somebody. So congratulations to them, and a great battle and great drafts and great fun all around from both teams. So thanks for joining us on NMH.
I'm CVAC0.